Hi friends, welcome to this power flow. We will get started down on our backs. Maybe just a couple blocks is all you should need for this class. So slowly lower all the way down onto your back. We'll come into reconstructive pose. So you can just have your feet out towards the edges of your mat. Allow the knees to knock in on one another. You can place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Close down your eyes. And let's just take a few deep breaths in and out here together before we start. Today's class will be a little bit faster pace, maybe challenging, more movements and pulses than a normal flow. So just tune into your body and what it might need today. Take those added movements or leave them, whatever speaks to you. Just noting that you are a unique individual. There's only one you. There's only one of your body. So tune in for what it needs today. Take one more breath. You can slowly open your eyes. You can lower your hands down by your sides, and let's walk the feet in to be about hips distance apart. We'll come into some bridge roll-ups. So you might want to have your heels a little bit closer towards your glutes. I like to do about a hand's distance between hips and heels. Press your palms down into the mat and then just tuck your pelvis, squeeze the glutes, slowly lift up. Then exhale, lower down. We'll just do up and down here, up on the inhale, down on the exhale. If you'd like to bring your arms into it, you can on the inhale. As you lift your hips, you can lift your arms up overhead. And then on the exhale, you can lower it all back down. Let's do just a few more of these on your own breath. It doesn't have to be a big bridge, just enough to kind of wake up the glutes, wake up that transverse abdominis that's hugging in at our midsection. This next time that we inhale all the way back up, let's inhale up and hold it. You can have your arms up overhead or down by your sides. And let's just do 10 pulses. So squeeze the glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower the hips all the way back down. Lower the arms. We'll lift the knees up into 90 degrees. You can place your hands into a basket behind your head with your elbows out, and we'll just do some crunches here. So let's take a moment to focus on engaging that TVA. So we're hugging everything in. That's like a corset muscle that wraps all the way around your abdomen. So hug everything in, bring the navel into the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw the ribs down towards the hips, lift the head, and then we'll lower back down. Let's do like 10 of these. So crunching up, lowering down. We're really drawing the ribs and the hips closer together here as we keep everything hugging in. Oh, let's do like 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one, let's hold it up. And then we're going to turn the torso right elbow towards left knee as we extend the right leg. Let's just do some bicycles here. Back to center. Right, left. We're moving opposite elbow towards the knee. You can have your straight leg up a little bit higher. If that's too intense, let's do 1 more each side. Just kind of waking up the midsection here. Back to center, and then let's release. You can release your feet down to the mat. And we'll take a reclined pigeon. So just cross this right ankle over the left knee, and then hug this left leg in towards the chest. You can have your hands back there on your hamstring or on the front of your shin, and then work to press this right knee out and away. You can roll out this left ankle here in one direction and then the other. And then let's lower this left foot back down on the mat. Keep the cross in your legs. Take both knees over towards the right. This left hip will come up off of the mat. If your right foot slides off, that's all good. And then press down into the inner edge of the left foot to get a nice hip flexor stretch here. If that's putting any pressure on your left knee, you can release the right foot. Come back to center. Let's switch sides. Right foot down, left foot crosses over. Hug that right leg in towards your chest as you press that left knee away. Roll out the right ankle a little bit. And then lower that right foot down, knees over to the left. Come up onto that inner edge of the right foot as you press away, squeeze the right glute, open the front of the right hip. Nice. We'll come back to center. Can hug the knees in. We'll roll all the way up onto our seats. Come onto the sit bones. You can just be in any comfortable cross-legged position. Inhale the arms up overhead, and then just do a few easy side bends. Over to the right, the left, the right, the left. Inhale those arms up overhead. Twist towards the right. Left fingertips on the right knee, right fingertips behind. Inhale up. Exhale, twist over to the left. Let's inhale back up to center and do a few seated cat-cows. So take an inhale, take an exhale. On your next inhale, draw the elbows down by your sides, open the chest, draw the shoulder blades in towards one another, and then exhale, draw the elbows in front of your face towards one another. So we're inhaling and opening, exhaling and closing. Our shoulder blades are going towards one another and then away from the spine. Last one here. Let's come back to neutral. Reach behind you with your hands. See if you can clasp your fingers and then just draw them down towards the mat. Open the chest. This one feels so nice. We can release that and we'll just roll forward onto our hands and step back into a downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out a little bit. Start to wake up the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Press your hands down into the mat. Push it away. And then bend your knees, lift your sit bones high, launch forward into a high plank, and start some spinal waves. So these can look individual for you, just like we said at the beginning. We're all unique. And how your spine feels today might be different than how it felt yesterday. So just do any movement here that feels good. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Last one here. We'll meet in downward facing dog and then just tiptoe all the way to the front of your mat. You can have your knees bent if you need, into a forward fold, chest towards thighs. And then on your inhale, just start to roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, realigning your spine. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. We'll do 2 sun sal A's here. So we're in upward salute. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips. Hands down on blocks or the mat. Let's inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into a plank. Come onto your knees if you need to. Shift forward, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's inhale and lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and just take some hip circles. Do a few in one direction and then change. Replace the right foot, lift the left foot up, bend the knee, do hip circles on that side too. It's okay if you hear any popping or crackling, that's all good. Let's place that left foot back down. You can walk, step, hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Root down to rise all the way back up to stand. And exhale, Tadasana. Let's do one more. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower to knees if you need to. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Lift that right leg, do a few more hip circles. Do like 2 each direction. Replace the right foot. Lift the left leg, bend the knee. 2 in each direction on that leg. Place that left foot down. Hop step, front, however you can get there. Long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale into Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead one more time. Exhale, bend the knees, sit back. Shift your hip hips back. We'll come into Utkatasana, chair pose here. Biceps frame the ears, belly is drawing in, squeezing the glutes. Can bring your hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your left foot, right foot, lift your left foot. And then see if you can pulse this leg back into like a warrior 3. So left knee comes back to center, pulse warrior 3. Let's do 2 more. On that last one, hold that left leg back, lower down into a crescent lunge. So right foot is forward, left foot is back. Inhale the arms up overhead. See if you can work to straighten this back leg, push out through that back heel. If you need to have a little micro bend in the knee, that's all good too. Let's inhale, arms are up overhead. Exhale, pulse the back knee down. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. Let's do 1 more. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale back up to crescent. Lower the hands on your exhale to frame the front foot. Step that right foot back to meet the left in a plank. Take a vinyasa here or meet in downward facing dog. Exhaling and lifting the hips back to downward facing dog. Let's meet at the front of our mat. You can step, hop, jump. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then root to rise all the way back up. Hands down through heart center. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale, lower the hips. We're back in that Utkatasana chair. Squeeze the glutes. Sternum is reaching forward. Bring hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your left foot. Hover the right. Take those pulses back with the right foot. Let's do 5, 4, 3. I have the wobbles. 2. Last one. Reach that right foot back. Plant it. Inhale the arms up high. Crescent lunge. Take an inhale. On your exhale, let's lower that back knee. 3, 2. Last one. Exhale the hands down. Left foot steps back to meet right. Vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Take an inhale. On your exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let's widen the feet to hips distance. Fold forward and just grab onto opposite elbows. Take a quick ragdoll. You can have your knees bent. You can kind of rock side to side. 1 more breath. Then exhale, release the hands. You can walk your feet back together or leave them hips distance apart. Root down through those feet. Rise all the way back up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center into Tadasana. Inhale, arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Stay in your forward fold. You can walk your feet to hips distance if they aren't there already. Keep the left hand down on a block or the mat. Let's open this right arm up into a twist. Bend the left knee, try to keep the right leg straight. And then let's step this left foot back into a revolve lunge. So left foot steps back, you can shift the right hand on a block or the mat next to the right foot. We are in a revolved crescent lunge. Exhale, lower this left knee down to the mat. You can lower your right arm. We'll shift the hips forward and come into Anjaneyasana. Arms are up, hips shift forward. On your exhale, shift the hips back, straighten that front foot into a half split. And then we'll inhale, shift back forward, Anjaneyasana. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, shift the hips back, straighten that front leg, toes point up. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half split. We'll inhale back into Anjaneyasana. Exhale the hands down to frame the front foot. You can have left hand on a block if you need to. And we'll just take 3 dragon taps back. So this right hand can reach forward. We'll reach the right arm back. See if you can just tap the left toes. 1, 2, 3. Reach that right arm forward. Frame the front foot. Curl those back toes. Let's step back into a plank. Come onto the outer edge of your left foot. Shift the hips. Open this right arm up into a side plank. Maybe lift this right foot up into a tree. Take a few toe taps forward and back. See if you can keep your body steady. So you tap the right toes in front and behind. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Keep the left toes or the right toes behind you and then open up into a wild thing. Shift the hips. Keep that left arm externally rotating. Open the chest. Exhale, come back into a plank. So rock back over. In your plank, take a vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Take an inhale. On your exhale, walk, step, hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press down through the feet, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Let's take that on the other side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the feet hips distance if they aren't already. Place the right hand down underneath your face or on a block. Open this left arm up as you bend the right knee. Try to keep left leg straight. Take a breath. And then let's step this right foot back into a revolve lunge. You can shift the right hand back. Open. Take 1 breath. Exhale, lower the right knee down. Cartwheel this left arm forward. We're landing in Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Hips shift forward. Take an inhale. On your exhale, shift the hips back. You can have the arms down on blocks or the mat, or you can work to float them to work on balance a little bit. So you can float the arms forward on your inhale, Anjaneyasana. Float them back on your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's do 1 more. Anjaneyasana. Half split. Let's come back into Anjaneyasana. Exhale. Plant the hands on either side of the foot, blocks, or the mat. We'll reach this left arm forward. Let's do our dragon taps. So reach left arm back to tap the top of the right foot. It's okay if they don't meet. Just reach back in the general direction. Last one here. Frame that front foot, curl the back toes, step the left foot back. We're in plank. Shift onto the outer edge of the right foot, shift the hips. Open this left arm up into side plank. Lift the left leg, start those toe taps forward and back. If you have the shakes, it's all good. I do too. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, last one. Place the left toes behind you. Lift the hips up. Open the chest, wild thing. On your next exhale, square the chest to the mat. Place that left foot in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift this right leg up high to the sky. Bend the knee, open that hip. Right heel towards right glute. Try to keep your chest square. Straighten that right leg again. Bring knee in towards the nose. Let's plant that right foot. Cartwheel up, warrior 2 on the right. So shoulders stack over hips. Arms reach in opposite directions. Inhale, flip this front palm. Reverse your warrior. Side stretch on the right side body. And then exhale, elbow to thigh or hand to the floor. We'll come into extended side angle. Left arm reaches up overhead. And then just inhale and exhale through these 2 poses. So inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Last one here. Inhale into reverse warrior. Exhale into side angle. Listen up here. As we cartwheel back up towards reverse warrior, shift your toes to face towards the back of the mat as you cartwheel the right hand up and over, landing it next to that left foot in a revolve lunge. So right hand is down, left arm is up. And then if you'd like an added challenge, you can circle this left arm back behind you as you lower the left knee down and up. So let's do 3 of those. 3, 2, 1. Open back up into your revolved lunge. Square the chest down to the mat. Reach this left arm out in front of you. See if you can launch off and land in half moon. So left hand is down. Right arm is opening up. Reaching that right leg long behind us, opening the chest up to the right. Let's take 5 leg lifts here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to bend this left knee. See how smoothly you can reach the right toes towards the front of your mat. Land in Skandasana. So right toes are pointing out, left toes are pointing up. It doesn't have to be super low. Open up through that left inner thigh. And then shift your chest to face the front of the mat. Heel toe the right foot out a little bit. We'll come into lizard lunge. You can have your hands on blocks or the mat, and then just start to rock forward and back a little bit in your lizard lunge. On your exhale, if you'd like to lower onto that back knee, you can. Could even come onto forearms, rock the hips side to side. And since we were playing around with those dragon taps in Anjaneyasana, let's see if maybe we can bend this back leg, reach the right arm back towards the toes. They don't need to touch, just open the chest. Let's exhale, come back into that lizard lunge. Walk your hands back up, come onto the back toes. Let's lift this right foot back to meet the left in a plank. Take a vinyasa here or meet in your downward facing dog. This is where tuning into your body is so important. The vinyasas might not be up your alley today, and it is all good to skip those if you feel that way. Let's inhale. Lift this left leg up high to the sky. Bend the knee, open that hip. Squeeze that heel towards the glute. Straighten that left leg, bring knee in towards the nose, plant that left foot, cartwheel up, warrior two on the left. Take a moment to get aligned. Left heel lines up with the right inner arch, gaze over the front middle finger. Flip that front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, come into side angle. Hand can be on a block, the floor, you could have your forearm on your thigh. And then move through that little flow here. Inhaling through reverse warrior. Exhaling side angle. Let's do two more. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to that side angle. Remember this big cartwheel motion. Cartwheel the right arm all the way up. Straighten that leg. Shift your toes to face towards the back of the mat as you bring the left hand down by the right foot. Open that chest. We're in our revolved lunge. 3 knee lowers. Circle the arm, lower the back knee. 3, 2, 1. Open into that revolved lunge. And then start to square your chest down towards the mat. Reach this right arm forward. Maybe launch. You might have to take a few hops. Land in Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Open the chest up to the left. Flex that left foot. And then 5 leg lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the right knee. See if you can slowly, with control maybe, lower into Skandasana on the left. Right toes point up. We can press that left tricep into the inside of the left thigh. And then shift forward to face the front of your mat. Come onto the right toes. Left foot. Heel toes out to the side. High lizard lunge. Rock back and forth a little here. Maybe come down onto that back right knee. You can always pad it with a blanket. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe come onto forearms. And then if you'd like to try for a dragon, you can rotate that right forearm to face in. Open the chest up to the left. Maybe reach those left fingertips back to grab the top of the right foot and then press hand into foot, foot into hand. Open the chest up to the left. This is a pretty intense quad stretch. So if you don't reach, you can just work on active flexibility. One more breath. Exhale, hands down. Square your chest to the mat. Come back on to your hands. Lift that back knee. Step this left foot back to meet the right in a plank. Take your vinyasa or meet in your downward facing dog, whatever calls to you today. In our downward facing dog, let's take an inhale in through the nose and let it go through the mouth. Next, we'll do a couple of exercises through down dog, 3-legged downward facing dog. If Ekapada Kundanyasana 2 is not in your practice, flying splits, you can just keep doing the knee taps. If it is, feel free to take it here. So let's inhale and lift the right leg up high to the sky. Let's exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale it back. And then let's do one more round of that. So you can do right knee, left tricep, knee to nose. Go back to the right tricep, or if EPK is in your practice and your blocks aren't in your way, you can go forward into your flying split arm balance. Land back
in your downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. Let's do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, left leg up high to the sky. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Three-legged downward facing dog. Left knee to nose. Three-legged downward facing dog. Left knee, left tricep. Three-legged dog. And then one more round. Left to right. Three-legged dog. Left to knee. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left tricep. Or try for maybe that arm balance. And then let's land back in downward facing dog. Take a breath. In through the nose, let it go through the mouth. Walk your feet in. You can step, hop, jump, however you need to get to the front of your mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Heel toe your feet out to be mat's distance apart with the toes pointing out about 45 degrees. And then let's slowly lower down into our malasana, our yogi squat. So upper arms come to the inside of the thighs. If you need a prop underneath your seat, place that. And then let's just rock here for a moment. Side to side. One last little hip opener here. Place your left fingertips down on the mat and then open this right arm up into a twist. If binding's in your practice, you could take the bind or just leave your arms open. One more breath. Release the bind if you have it. Come back to center, hands at heart center. Right fingertips down, open the left fingertips. Bind if that calls to you. One more breath. Release that bind into the twist. Come back to center, and then we will carefully, use your hands if you need to, lower down onto our seat, and we'll meet in Navasana, boat pose. So knees can be bent 90 degrees. If you need to have feet down on the mat, that's all good. Arms reach out in front of you. We're drawing our belly into our spine. Our hip flexors are helping lift our legs towards our chest. Sternum reaches forward. Do a few toe taps here. So just lower one toe, then the other. One foot, I should say. All the toes on the foot. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Challenge here. We'll lower from Navasana into hollow body. We'll do this 5 times. So take an inhale. On your exhale, scoop the belly out, lower the legs, lower the torso, keep the shoulders and the feet off of the mat. And then see if you can inhale, use your hip flexors, bring yourself back up into boat pose. Let's do that 4 more times. So take an inhale, exhale, lower down, inhale, rise back up. Exhale, lower down, hollow out. Inhale, rise back up. 2 more. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise back up. Last one here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise back up. Release the feet. And we'll come into cow face pose. I actually think I will turn to face you so you can see my legs. So in cow face pose, we'll have one knee stacked on top of the other. This is like a deep internal rotation of our hips. So you'll want to stack the right knee on top of the left. My trick for cow face, I always have to come off of my hips and come forward a little bit to line up my knees and then sit back on my sit bones. If this is too intense, you can straighten the left leg and just take the top. This one can be pretty intense. So Gomukhasana legs here. Hold on to your feet if you can, and then just do, instead of folding forward right away, let's just do a few like hip circles. They're going to be tiny little micro movements, but just kind of circle your torso around, and you can feel all of those tight, sticky areas in your hips, and then change directions. These will be tiny little movements. And then inhale your left arm up overhead, reach your right arm behind you. You'll have to internally rotate this right shoulder to reach back. Maybe grab fingertips behind you or just reach the fingers towards one another. take an inhale, and then exhale, fold forward over your legs, and breathe. This is another one where tuning into your body is so important. We're all unique. Poses with internal hip rotation for me can be quite intense. So if this is too much for you, you do not have to fold forward. You don't have to take the arms. Make it your own. Let's inhale, come back up to center. Carefully release the legs. Place the feet in front of you. You can kind of windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then we'll take that on the other side. So right knee is on bottom, left knee is on top. If you're like me and you need to do the little trick to rock forward to stack your knees, go for it. One side may feel way different than the other. I know for me it sure does. All right, do those little micro circles. One direction, and then the other. It sure isn't a big motion, but you can feel it. Then let's reach our right arm up overhead. Place the right palm kind of at the nape of your neck. Reach the left fingertips behind you. Maybe grasp the fingers. Maybe just reach them towards one another. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. And breathe. You can always come back up. You can always straighten the right leg. Let's inhale, rise back up, release the hands, lean back, uncross the legs, give them a little windshield wiper left and right. And then let's reach our legs out into a wide-legged seated position. Feet will reach towards opposite ends of the mat. Take a moment, make sure you're on your sit bones. Place your hands down in front of you and just do a few pelvis rocks, like forward and back, before we do our forward fold. So really work to get that anterior tilt in your pelvis. Your pelvis is tilting like a bowl. The water is pouring out. And then press back and kind of tuck it underneath into a posterior tilt. Just do a few of these through the pelvis. And then the next time you're going to rock forward, let's walk our hands, grab your blocks if you need them, and then fold forward over the legs. Can maybe shimmy side to side. I find that in these deeper static stretches, movement, little micro movements can kind of help open up those areas that feel sticky. And it also works as something for our brain to focus on instead of the deep stretch. How long are we in this one? These little movements can kind of help. All right. One more breath. And then carefully and slowly walk your hands back towards your hips. You can use your hands on the insides of your knees to help draw your legs towards one another. Let's give them another windshield wiper. That feels nice. I'm all about the windshield wipers today. All right. Let's lower down on to our backs. Carefully, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly roll down. We'll come back into that reclined pigeon from the beginning of class. So, set up for almost like you're going to do a bridge pose. We've got our heels about a hand's distance from the hips. Cross this right ankle over the left. Hug that left leg into the chest. Hand can be on the thigh or the shin. Press this right knee away. Keep the right foot flexed. You should feel a deep stretch through the outside of the right hip into the right glute. Then we'll take the twist the opposite way, like what we did at the beginning of class. We opened them to the right to open the left hip flexor. Let's just place this left foot down, cross the right leg all the way over, shift your hips over towards the right, come onto the left hip, and then take your knees over towards the left. If the cross on your legs is too intense, just stack your knees. Inhale the right arm up overhead, open it out to the side. Maybe shimmy those left ribs to the left to get shoulder blades down on the mat and gaze over the right thumb. And just release here. This is the point in class where the work is done and we can just start to surrender. Let's do 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, let's bring the knees back up to center. Place the right foot down on the mat. Cross the left ankle over. Keep the left foot flexed, left knee pressing out as we draw the right leg in towards the chest. Feel that stretch in the left outer hip. Place that right foot down on the mat. Shimmy the hips to the left, come onto the right hip. Cross that left leg over and take the cross legs over towards the right. Open the left arm up overhead and out to the side, and then I like to do this little rib shimmy. So right ribs to the right. Helps to get that left shoulder blade down on the mat. You can close your eyes. Let's do one more breath. Inhale those legs back up to center. Hug the knees into your chest. Grab a yogi toe lock on the big toes. So peace fingers on the inside, thumb on the outside of the big toe, or hands on the outsides of your feet. And let's come into happy baby. Ananda Balasana. We've got our knees drawing down towards our armpits. Keep the sacrum and the shoulders on the mat. Our feet are parallel to the ceiling. You can rock side to side. If it might feel good to open one leg and then the other, you can do that. Maybe open both. Let's bring the knees back into the chest, give them one more hug. And then we can just place the feet down towards opposite corners of the mat into Shavasana. So take any final little adjustments you need. Lift the chest, tuck those shoulder blades underneath. Take a moment to get some length in the back of your neck. Maybe draw the chin kind of down towards the chest just a little bit. Arms are out by your sides, palms facing up. Close down your eyes. Release the breath. This is the time to just observe the breath. No more control. This was a quick but challenging practice today. I hope that you found what you needed for your unique body, your unique self today. It's so important to tune in with the signals our body is giving us and make choices in these classes that feel good to us. I encourage you to continue off of the mat making choices that feel good to you today. You can stay here in your Shavasana as long as you would like. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.